Hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning in. Today, we're going to be talking about Chainlink and its valuations against Bitcoin and how Chainlink is now closing the gap to the 20-week moving average. Remember, if you do like this video and the other videos that I make on this channel, be sure to hit the like button down below and also consider subscribing. Well, the markets on a whole are doing very, very well. Bitcoin's up 5% currently. Ethereum's up 5%. Link is up 10% against Bitcoin. Uniswap up 6. Basic attention token up 30% against Bitcoin. If you're a basic attention token holder, I'm sure you're really, really happy right now. But right now we're talking about Chainlink. It's up 10%. It's up quite significantly from its bottom. It's up 63% from the bottom, roughly, give or take. And the ultimate goal that I've been reiterating ever since Chainlink has been slowly moving, slowly reversing, slowly making a bottom in this region here. Last 3 weeks, right here, is that Chainlink needs to somehow get back above the 20-week, and it might not be as hard as we think. If Chainlink rallies, the 20-week moving average has already been dipping down. It's starting to take these candles here into consideration and taking out the higher candles here. So we're seeing it move down, and it's probably going to taper off and flatten out like what we see happening right now. You see it kind of curving back up, but it's probably going to flatten out until Chainlink gets above the 20-week. Currently, we are 13.5% below the 20-week moving average. It all, that's another day like today of price action for us to get relatively in, throwing distance to the 20-week moving average. And we know that once Chainlink is above the 20-week moving average, it does fairly well. We see moves like this, and it repeats like this, like this. This one was the last one. It's time and time again. And when it's above the 20-week, it does very well. We talked about how the 20-week acts as support. Uh, However, there are times where it does dip below it. This is the first time in a long time. I would say, a long time since 2018, where Chainlink has spent this long below the 20-week moving average, and it seems like um, we are nearing the end of being below the 20-week again. Now, we have to start thinking realistically here. Um, Chainlink is an exponentially moving asset. If you look at the weekly chart, it's just been doing this. This is not normal. It's great, and that's why I'm sure a lot of people like to trade Chainlink because of the return on investment in relatively short amount of time. But this is not normal. Eventually, it's going to taper off. I would say the same thing with Celsius. Celsius token is another one where we see this exponential move against Bitcoin. You could see the same thing with the US dollar. Like this is crazy. And I would say the same thing with Chainlink. And eventually there will be a time where it will taper off. Doesn't mean that it's not going to move significantly and you're going to make a good chunk of change. But we cannot expect that this will last forever. And this a theory is that this move here might have been the start of that, where Chainlink has stopped moving exponentially and might move in a more conventional manner, much like what we see with Bitcoin, where we see a logarithmic growth, where you kind of see it move exponentially at the beginning, but taper off, right? We could see the same thing with Chainlink. This might be the beginning of it. Now, I could be wrong. We've never seen Chainlink in a bull market before. So this exponential growth might continue on until the bear market happens. In which case, I'm perfectly fine. I'm perfectly fine for it to keep on moving like this. But I just want to keep everyone aware that eventually Chainlink's fundamental patterns on the chart will start to change, and it would be a bad idea to like buy with the expectation that it will continue on like this, right? Um, buy with the expectation that yes, Chainlink will probably go up against Bitcoin, but it will by no means keep up with this growth, especially against Bitcoin. This is the only token, other than like newer tokens like Celsius that are doing this. Uh, Ethereum doesn't do this. Cardano doesn't do this. None of these coins do this. So, is Chainlink special? Perhaps, but I would argue that um, it's not special, and it will revert to a different kind of chart pattern where exponential growth isn't what's happening, but it will taper off, but will still provide returns. I mean, um, that is something I would expect still, but not on the scale of what we've seen. I mean, since Chainlink's inception, from bottom to top, it's up 9,000%. That's that's not something to you know to swat over thinking that it's going to do it again. Because I sure don't think it's going to do that again in 2 years. Is up 9,000% against Bitcoin. If it like put it this way, we're going to do this. So at the current bottom, right? Say we take this bottom 38,000 sats. What's 9,000% from here? 9,000% is 0.0387 Bitcoin. That would that's higher Bitcoin ratio than Ethereum. Uh, and I really I really don't think that would be the case, you guys. I'm sorry. Um, we try to keep a level mind here, think realistically, and so on and so forth. Because that like a 0.038 Chainlink at today's prices, if we convert it back into Bitcoin, what's the Bitcoin price? It's 232.35. So that would make Chainlink a $1,228 asset per asset. That's insane. Okay. I don't think that's going to happen again. Um, if it does, I'm happy to say that I'm wrong. And I will cry with the wads of cash that I will then have if that is the case. And we can all joke about it later. But for the time being, I want us to keep a conservative outlook on assets like Chainlink, especially assets like Chainlink when it has moved up exponentially. We cannot expect this to last forever. Um, Chainlink is up 60%. I'm sure it's going to be up a lot more than that, but at some point it's going to stop. And when I mean stop, I do not mean that it's going to go down forever. I am saying that this exponential growth will stop and we'll see a new kind of growth, a slower kind of growth, um, something that's a little bit more conventional. With that said, uh, we are, how far are we? We are about 137% away from the prior all-time high against Bitcoin. There is good arguments to be made that it will reach that level again. We don't know. These are Bitcoin ratios, so um, it's not like it can go up forever, like say the U.S. dollar. I think. Um, so we'll have to keep that in mind. If it goes on forever, then eventually one chain link is going to, be worth more than one Bitcoin. Uh, and even that, for even the dire lovers of Chainlink, I'm sure you can say to yourself that that sounds a little preposterous. But the first objective is to move another 13% or so above the 20-week moving average. Uh, by next week, it's going to be even a smaller percentage because remember the 20-week moving average on Chainlink is moving lower week over week. So by next week, the percentage is going to be lower. meaning we only have to move so much less up to get above it. So it seems like the move is inevitable, unless something catastrophic happens, where we potentially get rejected from the 20-week, which might be caused from a catastrophic dump from Bitcoin or a catastrophic move up from Bitcoin. Um, but at the moment, that seems unlikely, and we will monitor this and keep this in mind. Something to also take into consideration, we're still at $21 on Chainlink. We're still above the prior all-time high back in August, which is a good thing. However, we've made new highs at $23. Uh, I think this is still a very good chart, even though the one against Bitcoin was even bad looking. We are still on top of the 20-week moving average on the US dollar chart. We haven't even gone below it like we have here or here. So keep that in mind. Things aren't looking the worst for Chainlink at the moment. I mean, even when it was at 40,000 sats, Chainlink was still above the 20-week moving average on the US dollar. So with that said, I think it's perfectly fine, um, uh, to and gives me that reassurance that Chainlink can turn this around, and I think it will turn this around, and it's only a matter of time that it does. Anyway, that's all for today, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye bye.